Hello everyone, my name is Krishna Pai and this is my project on Boston house price prediction using linear regression algorithm. This is an assignment project of a course machine learning using Python by Sci-Fi Labs. So let me explain this code. So first coming to the library functions, before starting this video, I had shown you all the list of tools I had used and also the library functions which I have used. So the same library functions I've imported over here, that is NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, sklearn and IPython. So I have divided this project into 5 steps. So the first step is data pre-processing, where I'll be loading the data set. Okay, so using a variable Boston, I'm loading this data set called as Boston dataset, that is Boston house price dataset. This dataset is given by scikit-learn itself by sklearn. Okay, so I am printing the dataset using description. Okay, so I will be getting the complete description of the dataset as you can see on the screen. The characteristics are it has nearly 506 instances. Okay, there are 13 attributes. These are all the 13 attributes. Okay, over here as you can see on the screen. Okay, and these are other different like create, who are the creators, the company, and all the references used to prepare this particular dataset has been mentioned. All this information has been given by sklearn themselves. So next what I'll do is I'll take a variable called as features and I will uh, transfer that, or I will assign that to this data set, and I will try to make it in terms of a table using pandas data frame function. So as you can see on the screen, it has 13 columns, okay, and 506 rows. Okay, so these are all the 13 attributes and all their different values. So after doing this, for example, now there are 13 attributes, so 13 columns, but if I need a particular column, if I need to extract a particular column for my processing, then how I can do is I can take the variable name that was features, okay, and the name of the column as you can see over here, and when I run this, I get this as the output, where it is the output or the complete data of age column in this data set. Next, I'm using a variable called as target. Okay, I'm using pandas data frame function over here, where I'm going to save the target values of this complete data set into this variable called as target. I'll print it. I'll get these are the different values of the target column in that particular data set. Now what I want to do is next I want to find what is the maximum value in this complete 506 different values. I want to find out which is the maximum value of the target dataset. So I'm using a max function over here as you can see. So when I run this, I get 50. The value 50 in this particular dataset is highest value for target. Next, I want to find a minimum value. So I'm using min function, which gives me minimum value in this particular dataset is nothing but 5. Now what I do is I want to concatenate, or I want to append, or I want to join this column called as target to this 13 attribute data set. How I can do is this is nothing but by using concatenation function. In pandas, by using pd.concatenate or concat, I'm going to add the features. These are the features, okay? These are the features. These and these targets I'm going to concatenate together as you can see over here. So I'm going to concatenate. So now there are 13 rows, 13 attributes, and one target that is total of 14 columns. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a data visualization. So while having data visualization, I want to describe, or I want to check what are the different parameters or different kinds of values for this particular data set. That I can do using describe function. Okay, and I'm going to round off it to 2 decimal points. So while doing this, I'm using this describe function, and when I run this, I get this. For example, CRIM, in the CRIM column, I have the total count as 506. Okay, thereafter total count nothing but total elements present. Thereafter mean of that complete set, uh, standard deviation of that complete column, minimum value of that complete column, maximum value of that complete column, 75% of that complete column, 50% of that complete column, and 20% of this complete column. Similarly, I get it for all the columns, or else I can say all the attributes and the target columns of the complete data set. Now my next step is to find the correlation between them. We find correlation so that we'll understand which data attribute will give the maximum accuracy for that particular linear regression or any kind of model what we are going to use. So I'm using CORR function, that is correlation function. Okay, and this is a Pearson I'm going to use. More about this you can get it in sklearn documentation themselves. Okay, thereafter I'll run it. When I run this, I get the complete correlation between the attributes with each other. So for example, when I take a attribute called as CRIM with CRIM, I get it is 1. Okay, similarly if I take indice with Zn, I get this as its correlation value. So now we need to find, okay, we need to find the value such like this who will give the maximum value for a prediction by choosing this. So for that what I'll do is I'll take the target value. Okay, I'm going to choose this target out and I'm going to put it over here. So I'm going to take only the correlation values of the target column. After taking this, I will zip the features. I'll zip all these feature names over, or I'll join the feature names and prepare a list. And over here, as you can see, and for this correlation values of the target, I'm going to zip the features and I'm going to get this as a list. In this list, you can see this will be the correlation for CMR, CRIM. Thereafter, this will be the for NOx. This will be the correlation for tags and so on. As you can see, the highest one is for LSTAT. The highest value is for LSTAT. So hence we can come to a conclusion that we can consider attribute LSTAT for our linear regression model because it gives the maximum accuracy. More about this we'll learn later in the below graph. Okay, so I have taken it as I've sorted it and tried to arrange the data in proper order so that I can use it. Thereafter, I'm going to plot it using matplotlib. Okay, so I have plotted it in this way, that is I have plotted it correlation with target variable, so that feature correlation with the particular target variable and versus its attributes. So as you can see, LSTAT gives the maximum value, correlation value, when compared to CHAS. The second is RM, third is PTRAI TIO, okay, ratio of something. So as you can see, these are the different attributes how they will going to perform when we select them. So hence proved that LSTAT will give us the maximum correlation value, so we are going to use that. Now after deciding which we are going to use along with the target value, we have to assign them, right? So to assign them, I have taken two variables x and y. Okay, so for this I'm going to take LSTAT, I'm going to extract it over here, the values. Similarly, I'm going to take target values for y. After doing this, I'll print first five values to show what is inside x and what is inside y. So this is inside x. Okay, you can see it is 4.9.8, 9.1.2. Okay, it's just normal raw data what we have. Okay, now what happens for this raw data to process, it will be very difficult for a model. So for that what we'll do is to obtain accuracy to the highest limit, what we can do is we can normalize this data. So using min max scalar function and using fit transform, okay, functions, I'm going to normalize this data. After normalizing this data, I'm going to print it. As you can see, the data which was containing 4.9, 9.14, okay, 4.3, 2.9, all such data which are not in a proper order, now I've normalized it to values between 0 and 1. Now all the values present in this data set of x has values between 0 and 1. In the same way, all the values in the list y has values between 0 and 1. This will help us to train a model and to predict in a very accurate way. Now coming to error, that is step 2, I have defined the error. We have used mean squared error So this error function I have defined over here. The error function has been defined over here. Next, step 3 is split the data. So I'm going to split the data. The variables are xtrain, xtest, ytrain, ytest. Okay, so using sklearn, that is a function called as train test split, xy test size equal to zero point 0.2. Using this, I'm going to split the data, that is training will be 80% and testing will be 20%. Okay, so coming to step 4, now we'll have a data and error visualization. So for this I'm using gradient descent function. For gradient descent function, I'm error function, what I'm going to do is I'm going to define update function. As you can see over here, I'm going to define the gradient function. Okay, then I'm going to consider init m value, that is 0.9, init c value, that is 0, learning rate I'm considering it to be 0.001. You can consider it as per your model efficiency. Okay, thereafter I'm going to take iterations, that is 250 iterations. Thereafter then I'm going to consider error threshold 0.001. Okay, now to find out the value of m, c and error values, that is error values and mc values, I'm going to pass this complete data set through this gradient function. So after running this, we get the values of mc, error values, mc values, so on. Now we'll have error visualization. So I'm going to use scatter, that is available in matplotlib, xtrain and ytrain using blue color. So the blue color dots, what you can see on this graph, is nothing but all the xtrain and ytrain plots. Thereafter I'm going to plot this linear line using xtrain and its corresponding y value, that is a straight line equation, that is mx plus c, that is m into xtrain plus c. The color is red, as you can see over here. Next, I want to see what is the error. I have to plot the error of my model. So this is I'm going to plot, that is number of iterations versus errors. So as you can see, as number of iteration increases, the error will increase. But you can even see that initial iterations, say up to 100, has a larger effect on the change in error. But iterations after 100 have very less effect on the change in error, because already the error has come to its minimum value. So let's have a small animation. So this is the code where I can get animated form of my linear regression line. So as you can see over here, at initial iterations the line moves at a very quick rate, but later on as the iterations increases, the line starts getting slower. As you can see over here, this is how the line is fixed. This is the final output what we get. Now after doing all these 4 steps, after importing the data set, cleaning it, finding the errors, and even having after visualization of all kinds of data and its errors, now the time comes for the step 4, that is prediction. In prediction, I'm going to use a variable called as predicted mx plus c, that is m into x test plus c. Okay, I'm going to find the mean squared error of this particular value or the model, that is x test comma predicted. This is the error what I'm getting. Okay, now when I do it, now I want to check it. I want to format a table. I want to make it a data frame format in a table. So using pandas data frame, I'm going to zip it again, and I'm going to give the column names of x, target y, and predicted y. Okay, head function I'm going to use so that I can get the initial values only instead of getting the complete 506 tables. So as you can see, I have x, targeted y, and predicted y. These are the different values. Okay, these are the predicted values and so on. So now what I'll do is I'll plot the predicted values. Okay, I'll plot the predicted values against the targeted values. So I'll plot these two. So to plot these two, what I'll do is I'll plot x scatter using matplotlib, x test, y test using blue. All these blue color dots, what you can see, are all the test cases. Thereafter, I'll plot the x test and the predicted values. Okay, I'm going to plot the x test and the predicted values, and this is what you can see, the x test against predicted values. Okay, and thereafter, after doing this much, what happens is, up till now what we have done here is in form of picture in a graphical format. But when we predict something as a human, we feel ease if we get in form of proper numbers. Okay, so to convert this graph or the picture format into numbers so that we can understand it into more detail, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reshape the data. How I'm going to reshape is using dot reshape function. The minus one represents the last element, okay, and one represents the first element. This is how I'm going to reshape it. Using, I'm going to reshape predicted values, I'm going to reshape test x test values and y test values. In the same way, after reshaping it, I have to get the one which I had already normalized it using dot fit transform function in the normalization of data. Now I have to convert it back to normal data where I can understand, a human can understand it very nicely. So for that I'm going to use inverse transform functions using x test, y test and also the predicted, and I'm going to get the following outputs. These are the following outputs, variables which I'm going to use to store the outputs which I get obtained from this dot inverse function. Okay, thereafter after doing this much, I'm going to arrange it properly. Okay, I'm going to use string slicing and all that stuff and try to make it proper arranged data. After doing this, again I'm going to take in it in a pandas dataset where I can get in rows and columns format. Okay, I'm going to zip it again and list, and I'm going to give the column name as x, target y and predicted y. As you can see on the screen, I'm going to round it off to 2 decimal points, which is again easier to understand, using dot head function so that I can get initial values itself. And when I run this, I get this as the final predicted output using linear regression algorithm, where I have x values, where I have targeted y values, and these are the predicted cost or price of those houses in that particular area of Boston. So this is the complete information and code of my project, which I have done by after following the course machine learning using Python by Sci-Fi Labs. And this project name is Boston House Price Prediction using linear regression algorithm. Thank you.